Hello and welcome to the Aid Station. I'm Chris Robb, and today I'm massively honored to be heading to Itan in Kenya in the Rift Valley to meet triple Olympian, four times world road running champion, world cross country champion, and at various stages holder of 16 world records, Lornah Kiplagat. Wonderful to see you, Lornah.
Wonderful to see you too and to meet you. And thanks for inviting me here.
Oh, it's just such an honor. And you were saying just before we came on air that you've literally just arrived in Itan overnight. You flew in the other day because you're normally based in the Netherlands. So you're still getting a little bit acclimatized to the altitude there. I think 2,400 meters at the high altitude training center, which is an amazing story in itself, which I'd love to hear a little bit about. And I think you've got such an amazing story to tell, and no one's going to tell it better than you. So why don't we maybe start with just a little bit of your background, please, Lornah?
So my name is Lornah Kiplagat. I was born in Kenya, but then got married in Holland. Um, where we are seated right now, where I'm seated right now is basically um, my environment. Like I didn't move so much from home to invest. Um, yeah, and that has been an amazing journey for me, coming from like a rural area, like deep in Africa, where there are no roads, there are no electricity. Mm, to be an explorer and see the world and meet many people, of course, thanks to running that has done that, but also the hard work which was put in. So we are 16 at home, and yeah, so one of the last ones, my family are yeah really supported me when I started running, and also with the HATC high altitude training center. When I had the vision to do it, I had quite a number of support from family, so I can't complain this far.
Oh, it's just a wonderful story, and it's so wonderful. As I said to you, I grew up in Zimbabwe, and we were talking before. It's beautiful to see the red earth and to hear the chickens in the background there as we're talking. It's just it's such a wonderful setting. It's really beautiful. It takes me back to my days in Africa. Tell us a little bit. I mean, you've obviously just arrived, as we said, but what's the situation been over the last few months during COVID while you were in the Netherlands, and how was it? Coming back to Kenya, was it relatively easy to be able to get on a plane and fly into Nairobi, or was there been a whole bunch of things that you've had to go through over the last few months, even just to get back home?
Um, luckily, I have to be very thankful. Like there's not around like before I left Holland, uh, COVID had started already, and I went in outside of the country in the middle. Um, but things has been quite organized. But for our customers and our friends and athletes, it was a bit of a depressing moment because you can't train with a team, you can't be in a group. Um, People who have come here for so many years could just manage. Like some people could hardly manage to make it home because there were no flights, which was amazing. But on the other hand, if you was amazing in a way that we were still able to give them accommodation until when they get a flight. So everything was shut down.
Hmm.
But it's been a very difficult moment for each and here for us. It's like huge. But the way the government and everybody tried to help was amazing. And even people who had longer periods and they could not get their flights. So it was still well contained. Mm, I also found a way because uh, my mother-in-law was not feeling well, and going flying, and this COVID really given uncertainty that
Yeah.
you are wondering what to do next, you know. But at the end of the day, things went well. So for us here, it has been very difficult, but to manage the way the community and the people and the people in charge, and we just followed the late rules.
Hmm.
Follow the late rules, and then you are fine. But coming back now that I came back from Europe, it was okay because now it's opened up. But
Yeah.
still, you are nervous.
Mm.
You are quite nervous. Like, what is it going to happen? You know, the person I'm sitting next to, those kind of strange things also comes into your mind.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's not been easy.
Yeah, I can imagine. And then, I mean, the journey from Nairobi up to Etan, how long does that take?
It was a 40 minutes flight.
40 minutes flight, and
You
then
fly.
a long drive, or
No, just 40 minutes also drive.
okay, okay, yeah. So
Yeah.
wonderful to be back to your roots. And you were saying that there's lots of runners there, and whilst it started out as a vision and has achieved obviously a huge amount for women runners, you were now saying that you welcome men and recreational runners, and it's a gathering place for running enthusiasts, and what a beautiful environment to do it. And I think you said there's pools and gyms and physios and all those. Tell us a little bit about the center.
So I have to do training center is we are celebrating this October.
Yeah.
Um, we've started like like I come from a small village nearby here, and when I met it in running, people were actually mothers were asking me, "It looks like you have made it. Can you also help some of the girls who can?" Then I was like, "How can I host all these girls in my house?" There were like several. So and then the idea of saying, "Why don't I put a few rooms somewhere where we can regulate it?" and and the people in the community really supported. My parents supported with building and doing one or two things because they saw a future. Um, so it came from basically supporting because by that time women running was not huge in early 90s.
Mm.
So early 90s, women running was not really, was like you have to go to the kitchen, you have to be a housewife. And for us, for me, I was like, no, you don't have to. You can also combine if it is necessary. So it has come from there. And then the girls who went through here, they also are entrepreneurs. And I was asking them like, I cannot do this alone. We have to do it together. Like I can keep doing together, but it doesn't. That means I didn't bring anything to the community. So you have to learn how to help people. So it went like a what do we call like a domino effect,
Yeah.
where you put one thing and then the rest just follow the way it is. So at some point, when everybody was helping the girls who stayed here and was also helping others, then we went into something we never thought that we will go into, because when we travel outside of the country to run, some friends asked, can we come to Ite to train? But you cannot say no. So
Mm.
we went into a business we didn't really encourage.
Well, so it kind of
So
almost grew by accident in some ways. You'd set up something great, and word spread, and look at where you are 20 years later. It's quite incredible. And in amongst that, you've also built your own brand, your own apparel brand, Lornah. Tell us a little bit about that.
so with the sporting apparel, I've been sponsored for many years with many companies, and not actually many companies, one, two, only two.
Uh-huh.
Mm, but every time I look at what we put on. I'm like, I mean, I have this view on, especially for women, you don't put something which is, I don't know, pale or red or whatever. I say women are the flowers of the world. You have to look flowery. So even if you don't look flowery in your sporting gear, will not motivate you to go out there and do something.
Yeah.
So for me, I really wanted something different, and I looked. I of course I talked to the people they sponsored me before. I say, can I design something for you? And they were like, no. They were hesitant.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end, if you see most of the clothes now that the women are wearing is basically in my direction. I started quite long ago, but now it's in my direction. Like, don't don't make us look ugly. Make us look beautiful.
Mm.
We are beautiful already.
Yeah.
But if you this pale orange or whatever, something which is like super duper black, and for us we are black already. So if you put something black on me, I get even more black, darker.
Right.
So something to bring
To bring out the beauty.
no, to bring life in. That's what I call it. Like,
Yeah.
look at things. You can look at things around you which may not matter so much, but maybe those things makes you alive. You can appreciate. You have to appreciate. So for us in Africa, and you said you grew up in Africa,
Yeah.
we have we don't have so much, but people are always happy.
Mm-hmm.
So I took the inspiration from Africa, the
Yeah.
spirit of Africa, the colors of Africa, and incorporated with a line, a proper material, because I know what is proper
Yes.
to make a good running apparel, which is breathable.
Yes.
It's a very high-end thing, but also for just everyone can buy, and Kenyans has been supporting me amazingly.
That's so wonderful. So, I mean, in terms of that story, that, going on that entrepreneurial journey, setting that up, obviously traveling the world, where did I guess the background to that come from? Did you grew up in a small village? Were any of your family entrepreneurial? You had mentors along the way. You've clearly been a leader in so many ways. Where did the kind of foundation of that leadership, and what were some of the principles that you applied to being such a leader in the community, and on an even bigger basis in other countries?
So my dad, my mom, really gave us freedom. Like at some point, I was because there was pressure. They say education is the key, so you really had to study. And luckily, my parents are quite for Kenyan lifestyle. They were a little bit updated in a way that even our older sisters, which they are now maybe about 70 years, they went to school. A lot of them are like veterinary doctors, like they went to university. But for me, I was like not really, never liked school so much. But I wanted to see the art, the like the proper thing.
Mm-hmm.
And my dad was like, if you make your own decision, you don't have to be pushed. Do your own way and make sure you perfect it. And I think with that support, it made me where I am now.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was just a little bit of not even money or material or whatever. It's just like if you have a direction in life, follow it, but follow it to the maximum.
Mm-hmm.
But don't talk to us like, oh, I failed or whatever. So there was no failing.
Yeah.
uh, the
Well,
rest of our siblings also, I mean, there was no failing. You
yeah.
just have to.
Well, you certainly haven't failed. You've succeeded in so many ways, and time's flown by. I always love to end with an inspiring story, and you clearly have inspired so many people, and so inspiring. But is there some particular piece of inspiration story that you'd like to leave the viewers with, please, Lorna?
Yeah, quite a lot, by the way. Like when I started the training center, it's in the middle of nowhere. It was really like middle of nowhere. And people were asking me, why am I investing in the middle of nowhere? I say, because I see hope. Because hope can develop you to drive. And I say to some people, like, just give us about 5 years, and then you will see what this hope brings it. And then, of course, then our friends came in. And at the IL2 training center, we host, like in 2000, was it 2008 and 2008 and 2012 Olympics?
Hmm.
All the, we had from the altitude training center, people who got gold were 18. They came from UK, they came from America, they came from, so we had 18 gold medals
Wow.
just in a small place. But if I had listened to people who said, why are you investing in the bush? Then we would have not been successful. So we host like big names, which we, for me, because I don't like to mention names, but we host quite a chunk of people that
Yeah.
really have, yeah, like they have made impact in
Yes.
their lives,
Yeah.
and they have developed themselves. They came here, they've lived here for like 6 years, 4 years, and this is their home. So we say that's why we gave the home. It now we gave the name Home of Champions,
Home of
because all
champions.
the
Yeah.
champions, everybody is here,
Yeah.
and nobody cares if you are an Olympic champion or whatever. Everybody is treated equally. So with my brand also, people are like, why are you starting a sports brand? There are so many already. I was like, it's not about. So they were like, you can't compete with a big brand. I say I was not even for that, and I'm not even thinking for competing. It's just making a statement and make something for yourself. So it's kind of a hobby, but also leading the way on saying, hey, sports apparel doesn't have to be boring.
Hmm.
Can be, you can use it for sports, but you can also use it on a weekend or on, like nowadays people live on sports. Look at shoes in the streets. If
Yeah.
you go to New York now, how many people are putting on normal shoes? Everybody is on a sports shoes.
Yeah.
So life continues like that, and it's not about like you really have to compete. It's about what you are thinking and what you want to achieve, and you have to continue doing that. So I want to give motivation to especially the SMEs, the entrepreneurs, like they have ideas, and then people discourage them. And me, I would say like focus, focus on one thing that you really want to achieve. Specialize also. You have to
Yes.
specialize, because
Yeah.
if you do everything, if you are all over, then the specialization goes away. So specialize what you are good in it. HATC really became a success uh, just because we completely focused on what we are good in it and what we love doing it. So if a chance there are no people coming in, we still have to train ourselves.
Hmm.
We still can make use of ourselves. So find find a tune that you don't have to be pushed by others.
Yeah.
Mm, mm.
That's
That's what I
wonderful.
will.
That's so great. And in these COVID times, so many clear messages there, giving people hope, finding something that you're passionate about, you love. You don't need to be pushed by others, and being focused and pushing through. So many great
Mhm.
insights. Thank you so much, Lorna. It's been absolutely wonderful to meet you and speak to you. Safe travels and enjoy your time back home. And congratulations again on all the amazing things you've achieved. It's been incredibly inspiring for me, and I'm sure it's going to inspire so many people that are watching the show. Thank you so much.
Thanks. Thanks for having me.
My pleasure. Thank you.